Hi everyone, my name is Akorede Adenike. You're welcome back. In this video today, you shall be learning how to cut and sew armhole princess dart Bustier blouse. I'm going to draft it out first. Here is the pattern paper I'm using for the tutorial, and this is my starting point, which indicates my shoulder line. I'm going to draft my front part first. So this place is my center front. I'm measuring my half of my shoulder on my shoulder line. Half of my shoulder is 7.5 inches because my shoulder is 15 inches, which is going to be here. So from there I'm coming down by 1 inch, which is my shoulder slope. I'm going to measure out my neck width, which is 3.5 inches, and my neck depth is 5 inches, which is here. So I'm going to connect it with the cuff side of my ruler, just like this. So this is my neckline for the front part. To get my chest line, I'm going to measure from this point of shoulder slope. I'm going to measure 8 inches, which is the half of my round armhole, which is here now. So what I have here on my shoulder line, I'm going to measure it out here to get accurate measurement, which is here. So I'm connecting from here to this place now, straight down. So this is my armhole line. And to get my chest line, what I have here altogether, which is 9 inches, I measured 1 inch for my shoulder slope, then 8 inches from this point downward for my armhole line. So I have 9 inches there. I'm going to measure it out here to get accurate measurements for my chest line. So I'm going to connect it. This is my chest line now, as you can see. So from here now, from my shoulder line, I'm going to measure out my bust point, which is 10 inches, my under bust, which is 13.5 inches, my waistline, which is 17 inches, and the full length of my top, which is 23 inches, which is here. So I'm going to rule out all the points now to form straight lines. Very beginner, make sure you measure it very well before you rule it out. So this is my bust point line, my under bust line, my waistline, and the full length of my top, which is my hip line. So I'm going to label it. So now I'm going to measure out my nipple to nipple measurement for me to draw out my dart. So here on my bust point line, I'm going to measure half of my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches, divided by 2 is 3.5 inches, which is here. Do the same thing on my waistline, 3.5 inches, and as well on my hip line, 3.5 inches. So I'm going to connect it straight down. So this is my nipple to nipple measurement from my center front. Now to get my dart, I'm coming down by 1 inch from my bust point to create room for my bust. So on my under bust line, I'm coming in on this side by 1.5 inches. If you are a plus size person and you have big bust, you can make use of 2 inches, 2.5 inches, but do not let it exceed 2.5 inches, please. So on this side, I'm coming in by ½ inch, and on my under bust, on my waistline, sorry, I'm coming in on this side by 1 inch, here by ½ inch. On my hip line, I'm coming in here by, I'm coming in by ½ inch. So while on this side, I'm going to leave it like this. So let me connect it for you guys to understand. Here, I'm connecting from here to here, to here, to here, and from here to here, to here, to here. Just watch me as I'm connecting it. So I'm going to use the cuff side of my ruler to draw out this place now. So I'll just roll it straight down, connect it to my waistline and to my hip line, just like this, as you can see. So here too, I'm using the cuff side of my ruler to connect this place as well, from my bust point to this place like this, and I'm using the straight side of my ruler to connect from here to here, and I'm going to connect from here to meet here, just like this. Can you see that? And make sure you blend all the sharp edges here. Now I'm going to blend it to make it easier for me while sewing. Here too and here. So that's just it. To create that princess dart on my armhole line, let me just connect from here to form my shoulder slope, just like this. And to create that princess dart, I'm going to find the middle of this line now, which is 4 inches. This point and this point, middle of it is 4 inches. You know, I measured 8 inches there. So from that point, I'm coming in by 3/4 of an inch, which is 0.75, which is here. So I'm going to connect slantly from my shoulder slope like this, and I'm going to finish it up with the curved side of my ruler, just like this. After doing that, I'm going to measure 1/4 of my bust on my chest line. My bust is 36 inches divided by 4 will give me 9 inches plus 1 inch each. That will make it 9.5, which is here. So I will now measure what I have here from this point till I reach here. So what I have here now, just make sure while measuring it, what I have here now is 10 inches. Half of it is 5 inches because I'm finding the middle of it, 5 inches, which is here now. This is 5 inches. From there I'm coming down by 1 inch. So I will now connect from this point to this point and from this point to this point to form my princess dart. So it's just it. Please note, if you are drafting your own as a beginner, please make sure you use pencil or pen to avoid excess at the end of the day. But for you guys to see what I'm drafting very well, that's why I'm using my marker. Make sure you blend this place to make it round. You know, our bust is round, apex of our bust is round. So to avoid short of fabric here, just come out by 1 inch and reconnect. I have to come out by 1 inch, and I'm going to reconnect my armhole curve. So this is just it, and I'll just place my ruler like this and reconnect my armhole for the side. That's just it now. So to get my real measurements now, here on my chest line, you know, I've already measured 1/4 of my bust there, which is 9 inches plus ½ inch each, which is here. So what I'm cutting out from here, I'm going to replace it back here. So I'm doing the same thing on my bust point, 9.5 plus ½ inch, which is 10 inches. So on my under bust line, I'm going to place 1/4 of my under bust. My under bust is 31 inches. Let me make it 32 inches. So divided by 4 will give me 8 inches. So I'm adding 2 inches that I'm going to cut out from here. That will make it 10 inches, which is here now. I'm going to do the same thing on my waistline. My waist is 32 inches divided by 4 will give me 8 inches. What I'm cutting out from here, which is 1.5, I'm going to add it back. That will give me 9.5 inches, which is here. So on my hip line, I'm going to do the same thing. 1/4 of my hip on my hip line. My hip is 38 inches divided by 4 will give me 9.5 inches. I'm adding 1.5 that I added on my waistline to it to be on the silver side. That will give me 11 inches, which is going to be here. So I'm going to connect from here to my underbust, to my waistline, and to my hip line, just like this. I'm going to blend all the sharp edges. So this is just it. And to let it look a little bit sexier at the bottom here, I'm going to measure 2 inches upward. Hope you can see what I'm drafting. 2 inches upward. So I'm going to connect from here to my nipple to nipple line, just like this, with the cup side of my ruler. So I'm done with the front part, as you can see. So let me just write front. So this is where I'm cutting out now. I'm going to cut out this part, and this part. So I'm cutting it out now. I'm not adding any seam allowance on this. While cutting on my fabric, I'm going to do so. So let me just cut it out now. Now I'm done cutting. I'm going to remove all the unwanted parts. So this is my front part, as you can see. So I'm cutting 2 pieces of this and 1 piece of this on fold. This is my front part. Let me say front side. So I'm going to put it aside and move to the back part. So here's my starting point, and it's my shoulder line at the same time. So from there, from the center back here, I'm going to measure 1 inch or 1.5 for my zipper allowance. Let me make it 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. And I'm going to roll it down to form straight line. This is my zipper allowance now. So on my shoulder line, I'm going to measure out my neckline for the back part. My neck depth is 3.5 inches, while my neck width is 3.5 inches, while my neck depth is 1.5 inches, which is here. So I'm going to connect with the cuff side of my ruler. Just like this. So after doing that, I'm going to measure my half of my back, my shoulder measurement on my shoulder line, which is 7.5 inches, because my shoulder is 15 inches, which is here. So from there, I'm coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So I'm going to connect to my neckline just like this. So this is my shoulder slope for the back part, and I'm connecting from here to here now. So from this point now, for me to measure out my armhole line, I'm going to measure half of my round armhole, which is 8 inches, and it's here. To make it accurate, what I have here, I'm going to repeat it here, 7.5 inches. So I'm connecting my armhole line downward now from my shoulder slope, just like this. So to get accurate measurement for my chest line for the back part, what I have here altogether, which is 9 inches, I'm going to repeat it here, 9 inches, and I'm connecting my shoulder line straight, just like this. Having done that, I'm going to measure out my waistline from my shoulder line, because as for the back part, there is no any bust point or under bust. My waistline is 17 inches, which is here, and my hip line is 23 inches, which is here. So I'm going to I'm going to rule out this point now, which is my waistline. So here is it. Let me extend it to my zipper. So as for the hip as well, I'm going to rule it out just like this. So having done that, I'm going to measure my nipple to nipple measurement from my center back here. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches, divided by 2 is 3.5 inches, which is there. I'm doing the same thing on my waistline, which is here, and I'm doing the same thing on my hip line, which is here. Please, if you are a beginner, always make sure you label your lines for you not to forget. My waistline, this is my chest line, my waistline, and my hip line. Please always do that. And I'm going to connect my nipple to nipple measurements now straight down. So having done that, I'm going to measure 1 inch from my chest line here. This is where my dart for the back part is going to begin, and on my waistline I'll just come in by ½ inch on both sides. So I'm going to connect from here to here, and to my hip line as well. so I haven't done that. To create my princess dart, armhole princess dart, I'm going to find the middle of this line now, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to connect my armhole from there, just like this. This is my armhole for the back part, and to get that princess dart, I'm going to place quarter of my bust on my chest line. Quarter of my bust, like I did on the front, is 9 inches divided, 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches plus half inch is, which is here now, that is 9.5 inches. So I'm going to measure from here to here now. I'm going to measure it all together, what is there. So I have here 9.5 inches. Half of it, I'll just fold my tape measure into 2 like this to find the middle of it easily. So here is the middle of my line now. So from this point now, I'll just use the cuff side of my ruler to connect from this point to meet this point. On my chest line now, I've already measured quarter of my bust there, which is here. So on my waistline, I'm going to place quarter of my waist. My waist is 32 inches divided by 4 is 8 inches plus 1 inch that I'm cutting out from here, that is 9 inches, which is here. On my hip line, I'm going to do the same thing. Quarter of my hip, which is 9.5 inches plus 1 inch that I added on the waistline here, that will give me 10.5 inches, which is here now. So I'm going to connect from here to here and to the hip line. I'm going to blend this place. What I did on the front, to make it look sexy a little bit, I'm going to come up by 2 inches from the bottom and connect to my nipple to nipple measurement with the cuff side of my roller, just like this. So I'm done with the back part. So here's the back. As you can see, this is my zipper allowance zipper. So I'm going to cut out here now, cutting out this place and this place. I'll just cut it out now for you guys to see. Lest I forget, please, on my waistline, to avoid zip bug, I'm coming in by ½ inch. It is going to be here. So I'm going to connect slantly to meet up here, just to avoid zip bug, and I'm connecting slantly to meet the down part, just like this. So I'm cutting out here too, cutting it out, cutting. Now to make it accurate, I'm going to repeat what I measured out that I'm cutting out from here. I'm going to replace it back on the waistline. It is here. If you're a beginner, please measure your own. So I'm going to reconnect. So is it, just to avoid short of fabric. So that's just it. To be on the safer side, you can add it on the waistline too. So that's just it. And I'm going to reconnect my side to, from the bottom, measure 2 inches. 2 inches. So connect it to meet my nipple to nipple measurement line. That is the importance of making drafting before you cut the fabric. So you can readjust before you cut it on the fabric. So that is the importance of the pattern making. So I'm going to cut out here now and show you how I'm going to cut it all through. Here is the back part. As you can see, I'm cutting these 2 pieces, then 2 pieces as well, back, center, back, side, back, as you can see. So here is the back part and this is the front part. Here's the front part, as you can see. So center, front, as you can see. I'm cutting 2 pieces of the side front and 2 pieces, I mean 1 piece of my sorry for that, 1 piece of my center front, but I'm going to cut it on fold. 2 pieces of my side back, 2 pieces of my center back.